So one of the things that I constantly struggle with is finding out where the dirt's coming from, finding out how do I get a cleaner job. So I'm constantly trying different things. One of the things that have worked for me is to wash the car really well, right? So with degreaser and water cleaner, and then what you do is you go over it with your bare hands. Now that's why it's important to, before you scream at me, that's why it's important to have clean hands, right? Go over it with your bare hands, make sure that there's nothing there, and then you blow it off and stuff. What I want to know is, what is your biggest struggle? That's my biggest struggle, trying to figure out what the heck, how do I get this job to come out cleaner?
What's going on, everybody? This is Gabriel once again. Just a quick video for you today, this beautiful Sunday. I wanted to show you a little bit of how I do it with the trigger. A lot of people do it differently. I do it this way and it works for me. That's up to you to figure out if it works for you. But see where I'm releasing the trigger, right? And release the trigger right there, release the trigger right there. And as you can see, I'm not flicking it. I'm not flicking it. I'm just slightly just going to the side. I'm not like flicking the paint, because when you flick the paint, that's when you get a lot of problems with sand piling, and you don't want any of that. There's a few things that create sand piling. One of them is flicking the paint far away. So when you finish there on the side and you're flicking your gun to either side, and you're putting a whole bunch of unnecessary paint on top of the panel, that's one of the reasons that sand pile is created. Another reason why sand piling is created is sometimes when you paint, it's too thick. That's why it's extremely important to have the right thickness of viscosity of your paint. So what I'm using, PPG recommends, I believe, if I remember correctly, it could be wrong, but it's about 23 to 24, 25 or something like that in the thin 4 cup. That's what I use. That's what I check my paint at, and it works really well. I mean, it's something that might seem not so significant actually makes a giant difference when you're spraying, when you're flashing, and obviously, as we're talking right now, sand piling. Number 3 reason that sand pile is created, and one of the things that you could do to avoid it, is having the right temperature to spray at. I find that 75 to 80 degrees is kind of like the perfect temperature to spray this paint, especially water-based. You want to spray it at 75 to 80 psi, especially for silvers, because that's gonna allow the paint to just make a smooth transition from your gun to the panel, and you won't run into the base drying before it hits the panel. So that's very, very, very important, having the right temperature to spray at. If you spray at it too hot, then the paint doesn't get a chance to do what it's supposed to do. Because you got to remember, guys and girls, that this paint was designed to work best at a certain temperature, and that temperature is 75 degrees. A lot of people can argue with that, but I'm just telling you what I find that works, and I think it works best that way.
So I was trying something different on this VW, because I want to see if it will make a difference. So as you can see here, I put a coat of base and there's barely anything on there. So what I did is I over reduced it and I put 490 in it. So I want to see if that helps with the modeling, and get back to you guys.
Okay, now we're going for our control coat. 14 psi, and I'm using the Tecna Basecoat gun with a 1.3 with the HV20 cap. I love this gun. This gun is one of my favorite guns for silvers. Everybody knows I love my Mako gun. After my Mako gun for silvers, it's definitely this gun. This gun's amazing. So you can tell the control coat, I put it on quick, putting it on dry. There's no wetness on there, and that's what you want. That's what you're looking for. Now, here's the thing, guys and girls. If you don't have enough coverage on there, then your control coat is useless, because you're gonna see blotchiness from underneath. So you have to make sure that it's very, very well covered.
So what I did is I over reduced it, right? So you can tell it's pretty transparent, right? So I over reduced it a bunch, and then I put 490 in it to give it some body, because if you just over reduce it, then what happens is the paint has nothing to hold on to, right? So when you put 490, the paint has like a cushion and it holds on and it bonds together. So if you're having problems with modeling and stuff, you can try that as an alternative to what I usually tell you. You know, put 2, 3 coats. If it looks modelly, put another medium white coat. But this turned out beautiful, and it was easier. Okay, it was less of a hassle. So just over reduce it, get some coverage under, then over reduce it, maybe by 20%, and then do the 490. So I'm using WS400 1.4 tip, and I'm spraying EC 530, and I'm going to do 35 psi, 2 medium white coats, 10 minutes in between. Let's go.
So in this video I'm using 530, but I don't use the 530 as much anymore because we have the new 520. It's just this was an earlier video that I had on my computer, and I wanted to just give you some of the tips that are in this video. It's been extremely busy at the shop, guys, so if I haven't uploaded a long video, that's kind of why, because I've been just very busy and just a lot of work to do. So, but I mean, I promise I'd continue to making good videos for you guys, and I hope that this one is useful, because I know that a lot of people have struggled with modeling and sand piling and stuff like that, and it's just, you know, I want to be able to help you guys, and I want to be able to, if I could create better videos, like how to keep jobs cleaner and stuff like that, that would be really cool. But anyway, so yeah, one coat of that 530, let it flash off for 10 minutes, and then another coat. Both of the coats were medium wet coats, right? And just being consistent is the name of this game. Like I always tell you guys, be consistent, right? See how I'm like going to go the trigger there on the edge, because I don't want a buildup of clear coat there. And now just go and do the rest of the panels. I've been trying out a little bit of different ways to clearing, and I think on the first coat you go from down up, and then the second coat you go from up down. Now it doesn't, to me, I haven't seen a huge difference either or, but I could see that if you're using a super fast clear, that you want to be very conscious and intentional about not getting overspray on the clear coat itself, because if it's flashing off too fast, then you're going to get overspray on it. But the stuff that I'm using just doesn't do that, you know, it just doesn't do that. Tip number 4 now for sand piling, before I forget, is tacking. I didn't do it on this video because I really need it, but sometimes it helps a lot when you tack in between your base coats very carefully. You know, if you're gonna tack, you gotta go all the way. Like when it comes to tacking, sometimes you can get away with just tacking a little bit, but sometimes, I mean, I can't tell you exactly how to do it because I am not the one painting the car. You're the one painting the car, right? So the way that I'm gonna do it is gonna be different than you, because it's just the way it is. Anyways, guys, I love you. God bless you. Take care. I'll see you next time, Motivated Painters. I appreciate you. And if you see me at SEMA, just yell at me, Gabriel, what's up, Gabriel? You know, just yell at me so we can say hi. All right? Take care. God bless you.